Welcome to the Out of Capes podcast for CW's The Flash Season 1, Episode 11, titled The Sound and the Fury. This is a weekly podcast that focuses on CW's The Flash series. I am your co-host, Staffa.
And I'm the other one, Eric.
How's it going, Eric?
I'm pretty good.
You ready to start talking about last night's episode of The Flash? All right. Because the way how this show is structured is first we're going to have an episode discussion. After that, we're going to review and rate the episode, what we thought of it, and it's going to be a out of 5. And then we're gonna have it. We're gonna close out the show, and after the closing of the show, for anyone who wants to stick around, we're gonna have some spoilers and theories and stuff like that. So let's get going,
Okay.
and let's start talking about last night's episode. So obviously, the episode focused a lot on Harrison Wells and Hartley Rathaway, who is the Pied Piper.
Yes.
Now, the Pied Piper, can you tell me a little bit about him in the comics?
In the comics, he is. Hold on.
Like, doesn't he have like some kind of like a mind control ability?
In the comics, he was born deaf and was cured at an early age due to medical research funded by his wealthy parents. He was fascinated by music and sound because he never, like, if you're deaf, you become, like, obsessed with hearing things and so forth. He used it to hypnotize people and animals. He fought Flash. At one time he became vigilante alongside Wally West Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out as one of DC's first gay characters.
Okay, but like he did have like some kind of hypnosis ability, right?
Yes, he just kind of like the Pied Piper with rats. That's kind of what he did. He used his music and sound to hypnotize people and animals.
Yeah, which made sense for him to have the Pied Piper name, but like in this show, he didn't have any type of hypnosis at all. So like, what did his abilities have to do with Pied Piper?
That's where I don't like. They were very loose about it.
In fact, like if
They kept doing this like, well, the Pied Piper's here like as in the phrase and not like actual Pied Piper.
Mhm. Have you watched Batman Beyond, right?
Yes.
You remember Shriek?
Yes.
He was pretty much Shriek. Like that's exactly who he was in this show. He was Shriek. Like he had, he used these gloves to shoot sound waves. And after the introduction of Shriek, he eventually lost his hearing. Kind of like Pied Piper doesn't have hearing, and he uses some kind of a gizmo to help him hear. So
Yes.
like he was basically Shriek and not really, Pied Piper.
Yeah.
I mean, am I nitpicking? I'm probably nitpicking.
New 52 one just uses specially modified flutes to manipulate sound in comics. He's also occasionally used other sound-based devices, so they kind of went away from the hypnosis ability in the New 52, which I'm guessing they're using.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know. I felt like there was no connection between like what he actually did and the name that they were using. I understand they
They kept going to like it's time to pay the piper. That's
Yeah.
what they kept using that, and I was like very loose with the name.
Yeah, like I mean like put aside all the comic stuff. Put aside all that. Let's look at just the show itself. Like if I'm a person who who's just watching The Flash and have no outside knowledge of the comics or anything else, like I'd be like, why is this guy being called the Pied Piper? It makes no sense. And like this Harry Potter guy walking around with his Harry Potter cloak.
You know something funny? And someone actually called him that. They said evil Harry Potter. Like before the episode even aired, they called him evil Harry Potter.
Because that's what he looks like, man.
I know.
He's even wearing the cloak.
I would have called him like Sound Man. I mean, or even just call him Chess Piece because he's obsessed with chess. That's all. Like, I mean, I understand sound has nothing to do with chess, but that's all he saw everything as, like a chess game.
Now, one thing that really like I could not let go of was when all the cops were there trying to stop Hartley, and then Flash comes in to and takes him out.
Yes.
Um, the cops allow the Flash to just take him away. Like, why don't the cops take him away?
I was like, wouldn't that be technically called kidnapping?
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
basically instead of bringing him back to the station, he's just taking him with him.
exactly,
The cops don't do anything.
exactly. I mean, like I understand that you gotta like just let your imagination fly with the show at times, but there's just things about like just I mean like the whole holding cell thing. We've complained about it in the past, and it feels like it's getting worse.
Yeah.
They want to hold them in this cell that has like no utilities. There's no bathroom. They don't feed them.
Here's my thing that I'm watching this and I started wondering, like like they caught Pied Piper, okay?
Uh-huh.
They just like leave his cell right next to the door into like the next villain, and then like they rotate to the next empty space when they finally catch the next person, because it seems like they catch the person and then leave his cell right next to like the door.
I suppose.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I totally understand.
That whole fight scene though was just messed up. The whole like him running around and throwing police batons.
Yeah, like I don't get like why. Well, okay, I get why they do it. They don't want to make Flash just run up to every single villain and just knock them out.
Yes.
Like okay, the Royal Flush Gang in the very beginning. He
Yes.
could have easily clotheslined all of them,
Yes.
but instead they want to, make it more interesting and have him guide them all towards the same spot and then steal the keys.
Yeah. And then I mean the other thing too is like he's a sound-based person, so it's a long range. You want to attack him from like far away because that way you don't get blasted by him.
Hmm.
But police batons. Out of all the things you could throw at him, you throw police batons.
Why not?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Um. uh, I mean, like on top of the whole holding cell thing, Hartley doesn't. I mean, from what they've shown on this episode, Hartley does not have any metahuman abilities.
No.
So why are they taking them to this, the makeshift metahuman prison that they made?
Because he knows too much.
But like
Plus,
the cop straight up saw him, so he should be going to the police, you know?
also gives it gives god dang it. It gives him a chance to talk to Wells.
Hmm. Uh, the one thing that I did find interesting about the use of Hartley's character on this episode was that he wasn't exactly evil. He was
No.
just angry at Harrison Wells. Like he wanted revenge against Harrison Wells.
But what I don't get is why he was killing people at the end then. Like I understand he's he was trying to find the Flash's frequency. He's
Yeah.
angry at Wells to get back a Flash, but if he wasn't evil, then why would he start throwing people off a dam?
Yeah, that's true. It seemed like a mess as far as what they were trying to do with him.
It seemed like the whole episode they tried to basically he was just trying to get like their attention, so he's doing stuff to get their attention and want to get back at Wells. And
Hmm.
then at the end, it just felt like a totally different character where he was trying to just he could care less about human casualties as long as he gets back at Wells.
Yeah. Speaking of that scene at the dam, uh, Deus Ex Machina over there with
Yeah,
Harrison Wells just making up technology. It's
exactly.
like I'm going to turn on these car radios via satellite and send this sound wave and just make stuff up. It's like,
Yeah.
come on now, come on, Deus Ex Machina. I mean,
Yeah,
like at least when Flash was going against that electricity dude, what's his name, Blackout?
yeah, Blackout.
Like, I mean, there was a Deus Ex Machina for him to take him out, but at least it had to do with Flash and his powers. You know,
Yes.
which I mean, you could do like as far as a writer, writing for what the Flash does, you can do whatever. I mean, you can like the sky's the limit, So that's fine. But as far as like, oh, I'm gonna tap into this satellite and send this frequency, and you know the car radios are gonna turn on even though they're off initially. Yeah, all right. Let's talk about Harrison Wells real quick.
Sure.
This is one of the elements of the episode that I actually liked. Uh,
Yes, because I did too.
I think Harrison Wells is probably the most interesting character on the show right now.
Okay.
Mainly because I mean we don't know what he's supposed to be yet, uh,
Yes.
and
So here's the thing. Do you because throughout the series we know that he actually can walk.
yes,
Episode they hinted at that he actually can't walk, and that he's just using Speed Force to walk.
hmm
But he has no control over the Speed Force, so sometimes he can walk and sometimes he can't.
should we save like this discussion for spoilers?
Yeah.
All right. But like as far as like Joe starting the investigation on him, it seems that Joe is he's trying to get Barry to realize that there's more to Harrison Wells uh, than what he's leading off.
Yes.
And it's Barry doesn't seem to care yet so far. I mean, uh, he was like, "Oh, Joe, if you want to learn more about him, just ask me." And he's like, "Dude, you didn't even know about his dead girlfriend."
Yeah.
And I liked how Barry was like when Harrison revealed the whole, the big revelation about knowing about the particle accelerator exploding. Barry's like, "Oh, we don't trust you anymore." And then by the end of the episode, "Oh, we definitely trust you now."
Exactly. That's uh
Pretty quick turnaround right there.
yeah. Like they made it seem like they're gonna like start not trusting him anymore, and by the end of the episode they all trust him perfectly again.
Yep.
He helps them one way and they automatically all trust him.
Mhm. And I feel like they're trying to, as far as the show goes with Harrison Wells, they're trying to push um, him as being a strategic person because they showed him playing the chess and all that, and at the end he was like checkmate with Hartley, and in the very beginning he was helping Barry, instructing him as far as what to do.
Yeah.
What do you think about all that? Because I mean, I feel like that, like him relying on Harrison Wells as far as like how to take out enemies, that makes Barry himself uh, seem like he's less of a, problem solver.
Yeah. They built him up to be like this CSI, and do you remember the multiplex episode where like they show like the CSI, the footprints and everything, like he
Yeah,
like problem solver, and then as the series go on, they're kind of like going further and further away from that.
yeah,
Him to seem like some random dude who has super speed,
yeah. I mean,
but some like basic science.
yeah. I mean, like one thing about the Flash as a character in general is that he's pretty clever,
Yes,
and he's it seems that Barry is smart when he doesn't have the suit on, and he like doesn't know what to do when he has that suit on.
yes.
I don't know. I'm not really happy with that. I mean, I like the whole showing off that Harrison Wells is a strategic guy, but come on, don't downplay Barry as well.
But I feel like part of me feels that the like this episode, he kind of relied on Harrison more because Harrison knew Hartley more than like Barry does.
Mhm.
So Harrison also understands how Hartley thinks. So
Mhm.
that's why he kind of relied more on like Harrison this episode than previous episodes.
Speaking of which, when Harrison was like, "Barry, get out of there now!" Like, when is it that Barry's gonna learn that when people tell him to get out, he should get out?
Yep.
Like, we are 11 episodes in, and every episode he runs into trouble because he doesn't listen to them telling him it's a trap. Get out of there.
He's just thinking so fast he doesn't realize what they're telling him.
uh, anything else we got on that topic before we move on to like the like I mean I have the other thing I have on my notes is Iris.
Yes.
You want to move on to that, or you want to?
Sure.
Okay, so Iris, she gets a job as a reporter because of her blog. She gets a job
Yes.
as a reporter because of her blog that is about the Flash and other metahumans.
Yes.
And then why is she so naive that she goes in and she was like, "Oh, I want to do a story on what was it? A lady and some help center or something like that."
Yeah. I
Like,
was to me, it just felt like so like I know this is DC, but it felt so like Spider-Man-y, where like your whole job is to sit around this one superhero, nothing else.
yeah, yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, they specifically hired her because she wrote about, she has like these she wrote about the Flash and all that stuff. She has exclusive information, and
Yeah.
then like w- she feels insulted that they don't want her to write about, a woman having a help center.
Exactly.
That would be like, okay, um if I get hired, as a guy who makes great free throws,
Yes.
and then it's like, man, how come you won't let me do a touchdown? Huh? I
You're
do
mixing like two different sports.
exactly. Exactly. She
Okay.
she's she's good at one thing and she wants to do something completely different.
Yeah. See, in the comics, she was just a photographer for them, not like an actual like news report, like journalist.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, then she became a journalist.
Mm-hmm. I I kind of get the feeling of Superman and Lois Lane from this.
Yeah.
That's what I
But
get
I
out
mean,
of this.
in the comics, it was this way. Well, like Barry Allen and what she was a journalist for like the news.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Superman and Lois Lane was like newspaper, and like Barry Allen and Iris West, I think, were like TV. Is how you
Uh-huh.
can basically put it.
Yeah.
So
All right. But yeah, I mean, like she like the fact that she gets all insulted that they want her to write about the Flash, it just makes her seem very naive. Um, and like, what was up with the very end where Harrison Wells was having the press conference and her what was it her mentor or whoever dude
yeah,
asked the question and then Harrison's like, Iris West, I believe you have a question for me.
yeah.
Did you
Just
get that?
she, I think she was just trying to like show off to that guy that she can be a good reporter too. That's all I took from it.
All she did was ask the exact same question.
I know.
I don't know. Like I didn't get what that scene was all about.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Oh well. Do we have anything else before we want to rate and review?
I mean, they kind of talked about Speed Force.
Yeah.
That's dealing with Harrison Wells.
Yeah. Let's save that for
Yeah.
spoilers. So let's rate and review then.
Sure.
Okay. So I had a lot of issues with this episode. I didn't think it was a bad one though. I still found like all the Harrison Wells stuff very interesting, and they had a
Yeah.
lot of Harrison Wells scenes this time around. Um, oh, I forgot to mention. I found it weird that Harrison Wells would like just start speaking Spanish or whatever or
Yeah,
Latin. I
like
don't.
he knew, everyone knew Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it Spanish that they're speaking?
Yes, it was Spanish.
Yeah, like that one flashback where he fires Hartley. He just speaks one line of Spanish for no reason.
Yeah.
Like that was just weird. But yeah, I did like the fact that they had a lot of Harrison Wells scenes. They showed off his lifestyle. Where he lives at home, and I thought that was a cool scene at his home. Um, so overall, I think I'm going to give this 3 out of 5 uh, ear bombs.
Ear bombs.
Yep, 3 out of 5 ear bombs.
Okay.
Bloody ear bombs. What would you rate this?
I mean, I kind of mostly agree on all your points. It wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't a good episode. It was just right there in the middle for me, and I would probably give it 3 out of 5 Cisco T-shirts.
Stay calm and Han shot first. What does that even mean?
No clothes there because everyone else dresses up, and he just wears T-shirts.
Oh, we're gonna take a picture? Wait, just let me put some makeup on. As if I don't already have a ton of makeup on. So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we both agree 3 out of 5 then.
Yes.
All right, so let's wrap up the show before we go into spoilers. Just for the listeners who don't want to listen to the spoiler section. Um, if you enjoy what you've been hearing, support us by liking us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review. You can also contact us by email. That's capes@outofcontinues.com. So if you want to let us know what you think of the current week's episode, write in. Tell us what you think of The Flash, episode 12 next week, by writing into capes@outofcontinues.com. All these can be found on the website. That's www.outofcontinues.com/TV podcasts. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. That's youtube.com/outofcontinues. You can give me a tweet. I am at Sayedstafa. That's at SAYEDSTAFA. And Mr. Eric over here does not have Twitter.
No doubt.
So if you want to tweet at him, too bad, so sad.
Maybe one day I'll get a Twitter.
With that said, I'm your co-host, Safa.
And I'm Eric.
See you guys either next week or in the spoiler section in a few moments. All right, spoilers. This is your final warning. Spoilers. If you do not want to hear spoilers, stop the MP3. Stop the video. Stop listening. Get out of here, because we're talking about spoilers right now.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'll leave then.
You don't want to hear spoilers? Alright. Okay, so let's talk about the Speed Force first.
Sure.
So, they Harrison had that gizmo on his chest.
Yes.
To absorb Speed Force. And from the comics, from what I understand, there's only so much Speed Force in in a specific universe that can be used by the speedsters to power them. Correct?
Yes.
So, if he's trying to absorb Speed Force, isn't he potentially slowing down Barry?
Yes. I think he is.
You don't sound too sure.
I don't know. He's trying to slow down the Speed Force in his body, is what I picked up on it. But wait, also you're kind of right, where he is trying to slow down Speed Force in general. I don't know.
Well, it's not that he was he slowing it down, or was he just absorbing it?
I think, from what I can tell, he was absorbing it because he needed all. They were very vague about this because they said he's absorbing it, but at the same time they kept like acting like at the same time by him absorbing it, it's helping him have more control over the Speed Force.
Mm-hmm.
So at the same time he's absorbing the Speed Force from his body, but at the same time it's helping him control it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So, what that scene where he collapsed, was it? I mean, are they trying to hint that he needs the Speed Force to stand up, or was it because like the lack of Speed Force in his body just weakened him, and he was, that knocked him out for a little bit? That's kind of. I don't think they clearly explained what was happening right there.
No. And also when I saw that scene, I was like, how do you explain, like, say, like how he got there if he was in a wheelchair, how he was just in the hallway with no wheelchair?
He's like Batman. You
Exactly.
he disappear and end up on his wheelchair. What are you saying?
It just, how would you explain that? Like Hartley sees him just in the hallway without a wheelchair, and the next thing Hartley sees him in like a wheel. Then he's in a wheelchair later on.
He doesn't need to explain it. He's Harrison Wells.
He's the man of mystery.
He'll stand up and stab you.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean,
And even in the comic, Speed Force isn't very explained that well.
Wasn't Hunter Zolomon
Yeah.
what didn't he not use Speed Force? Like his ability was instead of using Speed Force, he manipulated time for himself. So that's how he moved in super speed.
Um. Hold on. Hold on. I think you're right.
So I don't know. This is it's all up to speculation as to what's going on with you know Harrison Wells and his use of Speed Force. But I mean, it's pretty much become clear at this point that he, as I mentioned yesterday, it was confirmed that he is part of what is the Reverse Flash, and this episode was the
So
first episode where we actually see him in super speed.
you're right. He has the ability to alter his own personal time frame, like what he does, his own personal, like past, present, and future of just himself, giving the
Hmm.
effect of super speed. So like he can
Hunter
go forward.
Zolomon.
Yes, Hunter. He can go forward like a few seconds into the future, know what happened, then come back. So kind of thing. So it looks like he has super speed.
Hmm.
So yeah, he doesn't have super speed. Is he's able to affect his own time, like time in history.
Hmm. All right. Do you have anything to add before we go on to the next spoiler?
Not really.
Okay, so what do you have here on Linda Park?
Okay, so next episode, you see, like you've seen the preview, right?
I saw I don't know if it was the same preview for next week's episode or not, but like it was about dating.
Yes.
Is that it?
Okay.
Okay.
So the girl that he's now dating is Linda Park, and Linda Park is in comics is actually the wife of Wally, or dates Wally.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little weird that like she's the same age as Barry. So maybe he thinks that Wally will be here, but be the same age as Barry. So they're gonna be like kind of different. Like
So they're pulling off a Gotham right here and making everybody really old except for Bruce Wayne being a little kid.
yes, or they can say that like Wally West is Iris's like long lost brother she never had. Like they might pull that. That way they can have Wally and Barry be the same age.
Huh. Well, wasn't
That's what's in the preview.
okay, wasn't one of the things with Wally is that he grew faster?
I think so.
I mean, like he could be a kid and then becomes an adult quickly.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Okay, you had something, you found something on Queen Bee, correct?
Yes. So episode what episode was that? Trying to remember now what I sent that to you.
Was it like 13 or something like that?
I think so. Hold on. Let's look through it.
Okay. So, I mean, as you're looking for that, I'll just mention who Queen Bee is. Queen Bee, she has the cliche ability of seducing men. So whenever men are around her, they pretty much do whatever she tells them to, and that's pretty much all I know about her. Um, did you find what you're looking for?
Hold on, I'm to the point.
Okay. Yeah, I pretty much just know her from Young Justice. I don't really know her from the comics or anything like that. Yeah?
So it somewhat deals with the episode where Ray and Felicity are going to be there,
Okay.
and it's episode 18.
Okay.
And like how they have it is she's a beautiful tech wizard who rocks oversized shades and red lipstick and devises weaponized beast-sized bots. So basically, she sounds like this tech wizard who's just obsessed with bees.
That sounds amazing.
Exactly.
Sarcasm.
Now, here's the thing, though, in the show, like, do you remember the first episode of Captain Cold?
Yes.
And there's that diamond that was in the museum.
Yes.
The diamond comes from the like fictional country that Queen Bee supposedly is ruler of. So that's what I was like, okay then, when I first saw that.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know where they're going with her.
Hmm. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I really don't care for Queen Bee. Like I didn't mention this on the podcast, but I did mention to you, Eric, that I think I think I really hate the cliched um, female character who has the ability to seduce men, and like just about every like superhero show has that one episode where a woman is seducing all the men to do what she wants them to do.
Harley, Heat,
Yeah, that episode on Smallville.
Smallville, which is Heat.
Um,
You
he
have Poison Ivy,
there's an episode of Agents of Shield with what's her name, Lorelai.
Lorelai, which also we got into this about too.
Yeah, like it's just so cliche. It's like come up with something new, please. We've seen this like 200 times. All the men become mindless drones, and then it comes down to the women saving the day because the men are dumb.
Yes.
Like, come on now. We've seen this exact same plot like 206 times. Exactly. So, anyways, do we have any other spoilers that we want to talk about before we wrap the show up?
Um, a photo was released of the Trickster's uniform, like outfit of what they believe to be his outfit, and it looks very similar to the one Mark Hamill wore in the '90s Flash show.
Huh. Okay.
And Mark Hamill's gonna be playing Trickster again, but what I've read is that there's gonna be a second Trickster, and Mark Hamill's character is gonna be the original Trickster who's in prison, and they have to use Mark Hamill's help to take down the second Trickster, the copycat Trickster.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the costume they have shown is probably just gonna be for like flashbacks of when he was the Trickster.
And which episode is this?
Uh, they haven't said. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So,
Episode 17.
17?
So it's not for another month.
Okay.
So it's the
All
one right before 18, which has Felicity and Ray and Queen Bee.
Mhm. All right. So, that's all I got. You have anything else?
Supposedly, um, they've been working on the visual effects for Gorilla Grodd, so Gorilla Grodd might be here soon.
Oh, that'd be cool.
The whole
Hopefully it'll be cool.
Supposedly they released, like, they showed some of it on someone's birthday. I forget who it is. It was recently, and supposedly it looks good. So I mean, that's the one thing I've had a question about was with the series is how they're going to do Gorilla Grodd and make it look believable.
Gorilla Grodd is actually going to be a hacker, and his hacking screen name is Grodd, and he is just obsessed with gorillas.
They're not going to do that because they've already hinted at the Gorilla Grodd as a gorilla. They've showed like the title thing of the cage with Grodd on it.
Did you hear about the Fantastic Four, the new one? Did you watch the trailer for that?
No.
Okay, so the trailer came out for it, and
I
uh,
know we're talking about how Doom is like just a hacker and
yeah,
like Doctor Doom.
yeah, he's a hacker whose screen name is Doom. It's it's so dumb.
But
Like,
supposedly, I mean, that's more Marvel, but suppose they are canceling Fantastic Four anyway.
well, that's um the movie's made by Fox.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying Marvel's canceling Fantastic Four comic.
Yeah, yeah. I understand taking liberties with the source material, but at a certain point, at a certain extent, it's no longer taking liberties, and you're just basically, uh, just filling in placeholders.
Yes,
It's like, oh, I want to have a football team, and they're gonna be called Doom, and
yes.
and the coach is a doctor.
Also, you have Johnny and Susan being like different races.
Yeah, it's like, are they not brother or sister, or are they going with like, multiracial family?
They're going with how they were like. I think they're going with adopted.
Adopted?
Yes, like this is her adopted brother, or they both came from the same orphanage and they were adopted at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, goes in your point of just taking liberties.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
That's all
So,
I have to.
all right, let's wrap it up then. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
See ya.